shower was running. Steam filled the bathroom. Pam Ewing stood at the sink, her face tired. Another morning, another day in a life that had gone wrong somewhere along the way. She reached for a towel. Then she heard it. Water shutting off. The curtain sliding open. Footsteps on tile. She turned around. Bobby Ewing stood there. Wet hair. Confused expression. Alive. Her scream wasn't in the script. Neither was the way she stumbled backward. For a moment, Linda Gray forgot she was acting. For a moment, she was Pam Ewing staring at a ghost. "Good morning," Bobby said. Those two words changed television forever. This wasn't supposed to happen. Bobby Ewing had died. The entire cast had watched Patrick Duffy film his death scene. They'd gone to his funeral. On screen and off, Bobby was gone. The entire season had played out without him. Sue Ellen had spiraled deeper into alcoholism, had consolidated more power. The ranch had moved forward. Life at South Fork had continued, except none of it was real. The shower scene aired on September 26, 1986. Within minutes, phone lines at CBS lit up. Newspapers scrambled to rewrite their TV sections. Entertainment Tonight cleared their entire show because Dallas hadn't just brought back a dead character. They'd erased an entire year of television and asked America to pretend it never happened. It was insane. It was brilliant. It was the craziest gamble in TV history. And it all started because Larry Hagman made a phone call. Patrick Duffy had left Dallas at the end of season 7, not because he wanted to, because his contract was up and the producers wouldn't meet his terms. It was business. Cold and simple. Bobby Ewing was written out, hit by a car, died in the hospital with Pam holding his hand. The funeral was beautiful. The mourning felt real. The ratings tanked. Season 8 of Dallas, the season without Bobby, lost millions of viewers. People tuned out. The magic was gone. J.R. Ewing needed someone to fight against. Sue Ellen needed someone to believe in. The show needed its moral center. Without Bobby, Dallas was just a soap opera about rich people behaving badly. With Bobby, it was about family, about brothers who loved each other even when they hated each other, about the constant war between doing what's right and doing what's profitable. Larry Hagman watched it happen. He saw the numbers drop week after week. He knew what the problem was. So did Leonard Katzman, the show's producer. They needed Patrick Duffy back. But how do you bring back a character who died on screen? Who had a funeral, whose gravestone people had seen? Katzman came up with the answer, an answer so bold and ridiculous that it shouldn't have worked. Make it a dream. Not Bobby's death. The entire season, every episode, every plot twist, every character development. 3 months after Bobby's funeral, Pam Ewing would wake up and find her husband in the shower, and everything that happened in season 8 would be revealed as her nightmare. A year of television erased with 2 words. Good morning. The network executives thought they were insane. You can't do that, they said. You can't ask the audience to forget a year of their lives. You can't insult viewers like that. It'll destroy the show's credibility. It'll become a joke. Katzman didn't care. He knew the alternative was worse. Watching Dallas die slowly without its heart. So he made the pitch to Patrick Duffy. Duffy was working on another show by then. He'd moved on, left Dallas behind. But when Katzman explained the idea, something shifted. The audacity of it appealed to him. The sheer nerve required to pull it off. And maybe underneath it all, he missed being Bobby Ewing, missed the brotherhood with Larry Hagman, missed South Fork. He said yes. They kept it secret, completely secret. Even the cast didn't know until days before filming. Linda Gray found out when she got the script for the season 9 premiere. She read it 3 times. Called the producers to make sure it wasn't a mistake. They told her it was real. Patrick was coming back. The whole season had been a dream. Her reaction in that bathroom scene is genuine shock layered with acting. She knew it was coming. But seeing Patrick Duffy step out of that shower after a year of believing he was really gone, something in her broke. In a good way. The logistics were nightmare fuel. Every storyline from season 8 had to be undone. Every character reset to where they were before. It was like hitting a giant reset button on an entire year of television. Some things could stay. Some things had to go. The writers worked overtime figuring out what was real and what was dream. JR's machinations that season, dream. Sue Ellen's struggles, Sue, 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 Sue. Dream. Ray and Donna's problems, dream. All of it. Every plot point, every twist, reduced to nothing more than Pam Ewing's troubled sleep. The fans would either love it or riot. Larry Hagman defended it publicly. He did interviews where he explained that Dallas had always been larger than life, that the show had never pretended to be realistic, that this was just one more big swing in a series built on big swings. Some reporters bought it. Most thought he was trying to spin a disaster. The night it aired, America watched, not because they thought it would be good, because they couldn't believe Dallas had actually done it. The audacity alone was worth tuning in for. Pam walked through her house in a daze. Everything looked the same but different. She found JR in the study. He looked up at her with that familiar smirk. "You look like you've seen a ghost," he said. "I think I have," she replied. Upstairs, Bobby was getting dressed, picking out a tie like it was any other morning, like he hadn't been dead for a year. He came downstairs and kissed Pam on the cheek. Asked what was wrong. She couldn't explain. How do you tell someone about their own death? About their funeral? About the year of life that happened without them? The episode played it straight. No winking at the camera. No jokes about the absurdity. Dallas committed fully to the bit. This was real within the show's reality. Pam had a nightmare. Bobby was alive. Life at South Fork continued. JR watched his brother with something like relief on his face. Larry Hagman played it perfectly. A man who'd spent a year without his sparring partner, without the one person who challenged him, who made him better by refusing to let him be his worst self. "Missed you at the office yesterday," JR said to Bobby. "I wasn't feeling well," Bobby replied. Such simple dialogue, but loaded with meaning. Bobby had been gone. Now he was back. And just like that, the engine that drove Dallas was running again. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Critics savaged it, called it the death of narrative continuity, said Dallas had jumped the shark, accused the show of treating its audience like idiots. Editorial cartoons showed Pam waking up from dreams about presidential elections and space shuttle launches. Johnny Carson made jokes. Saturday Night Live did a sketch. Dallas didn't care, as the ratings came back. Millions of viewers who'd left during season 8 returned. The show climbed back into the top 10. The gamble had worked, not because people thought it was clever, but because they wanted Bobby Ewing back badly enough to accept any explanation. That's the secret nobody talks about. The dream season worked because people loved the characters more than they cared about logic. They wanted to see Bobby and JR fight and reconcile. They wanted to see Pam smile again. They wanted South Fork to feel whole. Patrick Duffy understood this. In interviews afterward, he admitted the whole thing was ridiculous. But he also pointed out that Dallas had never been about reality. It was mythology. Texas-sized opera where people rose from the dead and fortunes changed overnight. The dream season fit perfectly into that world. Larry Hagman backed him up, defended the choice in every interview, because he knew what the show had been without Bobby. He'd felt it in every scene, the absence of that dynamic, the missing piece that made J.R. Ewing work as a character. J.R. needed Bobby to push against, to scheme around, to occasionally save in spite of himself. Without Bobby, J.R. was just mean. With Bobby, he was complicated. The writers learned from it, too. They became more careful about permanent deaths, about writing actors off the show. Because the dream season proved that once you lose something essential, you can't get it back without cost, even if that cost is credibility, even if it means becoming a punchline. But here's what the critics missed. Here's what the jokes and the mockery overlooked. The dream season was honest about what television actually is. It's not real. It's never been real. It's stories people agree to believe in for an hour each week. And if the audience wants to believe Bobby Ewing came back from the dead via his wife's nightmare, who's to say they're wrong? Stage magic works because the audience agrees to be fooled. Dallas just made the trick obvious. Behind the scenes, Patrick Duffy's return changed everything. The set felt different. Lighter, Larry Hagman was happier. The chemistry between the brothers crackled again. Scenes that had felt flat during season 8 suddenly had weight because Bobby was there to react, to challenge, to be the conscience JR ignored. Linda Gray said later that having Patrick back was like finding a piece of furniture you didn't realize was missing. The house looked fine without it, but once it returned, you wondered how you'd ever lived without it. The funeral scene from season 8 became legendary for the wrong reasons. People would reference Bobby's funeral with air quotes. It became shorthand for any TV plot development that got reversed. But the actors who filmed that scene had believed it was real, had mourned the loss of their castmate, had said goodbye to Bobby Ewing with genuine emotion. Then he showed up in a shower and it all became a joke. Except it wasn't a joke to them. Patrick Duffy coming back was a gift, a second chance at something they thought was finished. So they played it straight, made it work through sheer commitment. That's what made the dream season brilliant. Not the twist itself, but the refusal to treat it as anything other than real within the show's world. Dallas never apologized, never explained beyond that one episode, just moved forward with Bobby alive and the past erased. Other shows tried similar tricks afterward, killed characters and brought them back, erased timelines, revealed dreams or alternate realities. None of them worked the same way, because none of them had the sheer confidence Dallas displayed, the absolute certainty that the audience would follow. Most viewers did. Some never forgave the show. But even the ones who hated it kept watching because they had to see what happened next. Had to know if Dallas could sustain the magic trick, could keep spinning plates while pretending the year before never existed. It worked for 7 more seasons. Bobby and JR fought and schemed and occasionally saved each other. Pam eventually left the show, but Bobby stayed, the moral center, the good brother, the man who came back from the dead because television needed him. Larry Hagman would joke about it years later, say that the dream season was the most Dallas thing Dallas ever did, big and bold and completely shameless. He understood what made it work. The show had built up enough goodwill, enough affection from its audience, that it could get away with something that should have killed it. Love is a powerful thing. Even love for fictional characters. Patrick Duffy filmed that shower scene in one take, stepped out, said his line, and watched Linda Gray's face crumble and rebuild in real time. He knew what it meant, not just for the show, but for everyone who'd invested in these characters. He was giving them back something they'd lost. The water dripped off his hair onto the tile. The steam swirled around him, and somewhere, millions of people watching at home felt their investment in Dallas pay off. Because Bobby Ewing wasn't dead, had never been dead, was standing right there, confused about why his wife looked so shocked to see him. It was absurd. It was perfect. It was exactly what Dallas was supposed to be. Jerry Ewing got his brother back. South Fork got its soul back. And television learned that sometimes the craziest choice is the right one, that audiences will forgive almost anything if you give them what they actually want. They wanted Bobby Ewing alive. They wanted that shower curtain to open and reveal that death wasn't permanent, that good men could return, that families could be whole again. So Dallas gave it to them, wrapped in the flimsiest excuse possible, a dream, a nightmare, a year that never happened, and America said, yes, we'll believe it. We'll accept it. Because having Bobby back is worth more than logic. That's the power of story. Not in its realism, but in its ability to give people what they need, even if what they need is impossible. Patrick Duffy stepped out of that shower and changed television history. Proved that dead doesn't have to mean gone. That love for characters can override any objection. That sometimes the craziest twist is just bringing back what should never have left. Good morning, Bobby Ewing. Welcome back to South Fork. Welcome home.